Welcome one and all to my music channel again. I am Daryl Smith, in case you didn't know that by looking at the channel name down there or anything like that. But anyways, today we are going to be looking at orange products, and we're just going to be looking at some of the micro products. In fact, you know what? I'm going to unplug this just so I can show you. The first thing we're going to look at is the micro terror. See it right there? It is ridiculously light. See? But it's very strong and sturdy, you can hear that. It's actually made out of metal, it's not made out of plastic or anything cheap. It's not a toy, so don't worry about that. It's 20 watts, it's a valve preamp with a 20 watt solid state power amp. Just one speaker output there's your power input there. You have a headphones input with an aux in as well. Sadly, the headphone input doesn't have any cab simulation, so it will sound quite raw and spiky, but what can you do? We have it in your input and on or off. Dead simple, dead easy to use, and a great starter for Valve users. If you're going from like cheap solid state and you want to try out some Valve stuff, this is a good place to get started. And it's super affordable. It's only £99, so it's like you can't really go wrong. So yeah, it's a great way to get going, and it takes pedals really well. The valve in here is a 12AX7. Has 2 gain stages, so it's pretty much just like here's one, and then you get about halfway, and then you start kind of getting into the other. So pretty much like that. But here we have the Micro Dark. There's a couple of features on this that are a little bit different, but first thing, it's still the same. It's a 12AX7 in the preamp and a 20 watt solid state power amp. This time we have, instead of a tone knob, like going from bassy to more trebly, we have a shape function which will go from more of a mid-scoop metal sound to a more pokey kind of dare I say, kind of vintagey sound on it. So that's a cool feature. This one, the headphone socket in this one has cab simulation in it, so it will sound like so when you plug in there, it will sound like it's going through one of Orange's 412s, I believe it is. It's designed to sound like that. This one doesn't have an aux in on it though. That's a bit weird. However, this one, whilst it has the cab thing there, also has an effects loop in it. So this is a great one to get started if you want to try out effects loops and really messing around with that kind of thing. Instead of just always having the effects in front of the amp, you can do it through the effects loop. This one also has 4 gain stages, so it has twice as many as the Micro Terror. This one retails, if I'm not mistaken, for around about £129. So it's a bit more expensive, but you are getting a little bit more for your money. So more gain stages, you get effects loop, and this one has a blue light instead of an orange light. So yeah. But enough about all this. You're going to want to hear how it sounds, so we're going to get to that right now. Whoa, and now we're back. Now, into the amp we go. So here's the Micro Terror running through the cab like I said before. Just using the in-camera microphone just so you get an idea of what it sounds like in the room. So what we'll do is, much like with any of the Terror amps, what you would do is, if you want clean sound, you start with the gain fairly low but the volume fairly high, and then if you want a good gain sound, you go with the gain very high but the volume very low. Unless you're in a gigging situation or a rehearsal situation, in which case you tweak to whatever suit. I can tell you right now, do not be fooled by the size of this thing, right? It is loud. Even just going through a 112, this thing is very loud. So you gotta be very careful with how you adjust it and how you set it up, so that you don't wind up getting yourself evicted or anything like that. Now I'm running it fairly loud right now, so you guys can hear it fair enough. So here we have the volume set at about just before 12 o'clock. Tone, for me, I have it set about just past halfway, and the gain is about a quarter up, just to keep it, you know, fairly loud. So anyways, I'm in drop C, so there's the lowest note you'll hear from me today. The bridge pickup, we'll go neck pickup. So that's pretty cool. We'll go in middle position just for a bit of fun. So there we have it. A pretty cool, you know, kind of rhythm sound, and if you push the gain up just a little bit more, we'll get a little bit more crunchy kind of sound. We'll push the gain up just a bit, bring the volume down a bit. Oh, bloody hell. So you can tell just how loud this thing gets. Right, now we're going to bring the volume down quite a bit, and what I'll do, I'll put the gain up about 3/4 of the way. Okay, I think you can get the idea of that. Yeah, that's pretty bloody loud and actually pretty tight actually, especially if you put the tone up quite a bit. If you're running it into something with like say a vintage 30 or something like that, you might get maybe a bit more spike out of it, a bit more punch. So you might want to roll the tone back a little bit more, but it's pretty good. If you want to tighten it up a bit, you could throw an overdrive into the front, which I do happen to have. What I'll do, I'll just roll the gain back a bit and put the volume up a bit. So put the gain up a bit more on this one. So this is channel 1 on the LT Duo, by the way. I've got the gain below halfway and the volume just above halfway, ISF all the way to the left, and tone about 3/4 of the way up. Right, now we're plugged into the Micro Dark, which as you can see has a nice little blue light, which I do actually quite enjoy. I don't know why, it's just, I don't know, I think it just looks better than the orange light, but then again the orange light fits better with what, because it, you know, it's orange and stuff, and I suppose you should be eating oranges while you're playing an orange with an orange guitar and orange clothes. maybe go on an EasyJet flight where everybody's painted orange. No, okay, wait, okay, I think we're going off topic here. Like I said, this one has 2 more gain stages than the Micro Terror, and it has the shape function, so I'm going to attempt to you know, change that a little bit, you know, for the clean sounds, then for the crunch sounds, and then for the saturated overdrive sounds. So this is with the volume up just past a quarter and the gain just below a quarter of the way up, so this will be it cleaning up. So you can hear there's still quite a bit of fizz in there, so if you want you can just roll the volume back on your guitar. Definitely helps to clean it up a little bit more, you know. We'll try slamming the tone all the way to the left, so let's see what kind of tones we get out of that. I'll put the volume up just a little bit more as well, just so we can hear it a little bit better. So I'll put the volume up on my guitar as well. Let's try putting it all the way to the right this time. So that's your kind of mid-scooped kind of dime baggy sound. So if you're after that, then there you go. Go a little bit less on that, but kind of just about 3/4 that way. So right, let's put it slap bang in the middle again, and now we're going to put the gain up, bring the volume down a bit. Whoa-ho-ho. Quite a dark distortion there, so you know, you can having it slap bang in the middle, you'll definitely get more of that kind of more grungy sound. Let's try slamming it all the way to the left. So let's see what we get here. So that way you get that kind of more vintagey sound. And now let's go dime bag. I'm not a big fan of that sound, to be completely honest with you, but you know. it back a little bit. So we'll put it at about, you know, like putting it to the right, so about 3/4 that to the right. So see, that's a little bit better, I think, because it's not as extreme. Now we're going to go into extreme kind of territories. Once again, put the shake knob about halfway. The gain is now just over 3/4 of the way up. Oh my god. Once again, look, this is how big it is. That thing is making this sound. It's ridiculous. You know why? It's like you don't really need to do anything. I mean, sorry, let's put the channel 1 of the LT Duo in the front. Let's see what we get. There, it's just ridiculous. Let's slam the tone all the way to the left now. Let's try slamming it all the way to the right this time, so this will be like proper gain bag, I think. You can hear it's just slam mid-scoop, no fucks given. It's quite old school metal, you know? Proper, you know, metal tones right there. So yeah, that's the. What else do I need to really say, you know, about this particular thing? So yeah, I'm just gonna turn this off now before it blows up my house. Just gonna put my PRS down now. So yeah. So that's the Micro Terror and the Micro Dark. So I don't know, which one did you guys prefer? You know, did you prefer the kind of more tamed Micro Terror? You could probably use that. I've been using it actually as more of a cleaner tone and then putting pedals in it and stuff like that. I think it's actually quite versatile. It has a lot of good things going for it. The Micro Dark is definitely aimed at the metal guy. It's not... It has some, you know, good cleans in it, but it doesn't have the huge amount of headroom for it. But where it really shines is the fact that you have an effects loop and the fact that, oh my god, the amount of gain you can get out of this thing is absurd.